You strike me as like British, Irish, Scottish.
Why does that matter?
There was a time in history when a lot of Jews needed to leave other parts of Europe, but not those ones. And so being here in America, I don't think Emma's Jewish.
Hello.
Hello.
What's your name? What do you do?
My name is Jacob. I'm the director of experiential Jewish life at a synagogue here in Seattle.
How religious are you?
Religious is a tough question because it's like, do I go to synagogue every single Friday night and Saturday morning? No. When I go, do I enjoy myself? Absolutely. Do I keep kosher? Not right now, but in general, I do. So it's hard to answer. I consider myself a fully embodied Jew, though. I live it out daily.
Today, you're gonna guess who's Jewish. Mm-hmm. What are stereotypes of Jewish people?
Stereotypes. That's a challenging question to answer.
Why is that? Why is that?
Because there's a lot of anti-Semitism going on right now.
Have you ever experienced anti-Semitism?
Yeah, certainly. Growing up in school, I was called the Jew. I had swastikas drawn on some of my textbooks, and people would throw pennies and quarters. Aren't you going to pick it? Don't you want to pick it up? It was not pleasant.
Are you nervous at all?
Yeah. I feel the weight of my people on my shoulders. Yeah, absolutely. And if nothing else, my dad's approval is resting on this. So.
Is your dad at the synagogue right now?
In this moment, I believe so, yeah. It is Shabbat, very soon, yeah.
Very soon, are you gonna make it?
We'll see, it depends on how long we take here.
You ready?
I think so. Hi, I'm Jacob. Emma. Those are nice matzo ball hands, I can see you. Definitely, yeah. Jacob. Gabe. Ahmed. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Maya, nice to meet you.
Jordan,
nice to meet you. And what was your name?
Reem. Sorry, I was laughing.
Yeah, no worries. Nice to meet you all.
Emma, you can come on out.
And there's one Jew amongst them, correct?
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay, it could be
So
any
much
number.
harder.
Yeah. If it was one, that would actually, I think, be easier for me.
Really?
I mean, yeah.
If there was one Jewish person here, who would it be?
Gabe. So, your appearance to me, you strike me as like British, Irish, Scottish.
Why does that matter?
There was a time in history when a lot of Jews needed to leave other parts of Europe, but not those ones. And so, being here in America, there's a lot more Jews of German descent than, say, British. Do you have a favorite Seinfeld episode?
No, but my husband does.
Did you ever watch Seinfeld?
No.
Okay, so if I was to say like, Sheket bavakasha.
No.
Cool. I don't think Emma's Jewish. There's a few cultural pieces that just aren't locking in to make the whole picture scream Jewish to me. Are you Jewish?
Yes.
Whoa! Dang! Wow.
But I'm a convert.
So
So that's where it comes in.
Oh, dang! That's the curveball.
If you asked a little more religious questions, I think you could have gotten me.
Yeah, dang! That's the trick too, because people who convert are really into it. Usually, there's a reason they make that
Yeah,
choice.
and also
Wow.
I didn't grow up Jewish, so I don't know your kid's
Yeah.
song.
Dang! That was my bad. What made you want to join the tribe?
I majored in religious studies in college, and
Cool.
I just fell in love with it.
Did you convert locally with Rabbi Cadden?
Yes.
Cool. Awesome.
I love Rabbi Cadden. He's my
Yeah,
favorite.
he's a great guy.
Yeah. I have a chronic illness and disability that was really tough for me. And when I was really sick and like not able to leave my house, Rabbi Cadden came and visited me, and he gave me like a book of prayers.
Wow.
And that was really meaningful for me. And just having the community notice that I was gone and send me their love and their prayers, it was really important to me.
That's amazing. It's kind of like speed dating a little bit. I like it. Next person. And it was Reem, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I see dark curly hair, definitely a Middle Eastern thing of Arab descent, I presume.
Yes.
Yeah, this is just making me realize the whiteness of the Jewish communities I'm a part of. If I was in Israel and grew up in Israel, I might have more connections with Arab Jewish people. I don't have too many, and so it's hard to say just based off of the visual. What did your parents want you to do when you were growing up, like as far as career? Or...
Be a lawyer.
Yeah, I know that lawyer thing. My mom is the same way.
I wanted to, and then I worked as a paralegal, and I hated it. And I was like, ugh.
Yeah, it's a lot. Do you have a favorite Yiddish word?
Baklava.
Baklava. I don't believe that's Yiddish, but great.
You ready to make a guess on that?
Well, you had me for a second with the mom wanting you to be a lawyer, because that's a pretty traditionally Jewish. I think that's actually from Torah, you know. But not knowing any Yiddish and not knowing that baklava isn't Yiddish, I'm gonna say probably not Jewish.
You are correct.
Cool.
I am not Jewish. I'm a Muslim.
Muslim, cool.
But close enough.
Yeah, very close. I mean,
Like
it's
they're
very
so similar.
Salam
that-
alaikum, shalom alechem. I mean,
Absolutely. My dad's whole side was actually from Palestine. So like as I'm learning more about my culture and like Palestine, I'm also learning more about like Judaism. You hear so much like stereotypes, honestly, that Muslims and Jewish people don't like each other, and I just don't get it.
there was a long history in that region of Jews and Arabs and Muslims living side by side, and like
Exactly.
not just peace, but like celebration and like cultural sharing and
Exactly.
everything. And so like let's try to go back there.
Yeah,
Like,
here.
can I give you a hug? Is that? Gabe, come on down. Definitely the curly hair. If you were to be longer, we call it a Jufro. It's borderline that already. You got the like Ashkenazic scruff. I mean, like look at this. I mean, come on. When going to Friday night services, front, middle, or back section?
Back.
Jews get to synagogue early to get the back row seats. I think you're Jewish.
I am not.
You're not. Wait. Have you been to Friday night services?
My church did services all throughout the weekend.
Church. Cool. I should have said at the synagogue, yeah. You definitely look stereotypically very Jewish.
I do. The reason for the hair specifically is I'm ethnically a mixed race. My dad's black, my mom's white. So I have the same kind of hair is also in mixed kids.
Fascinating.
I do actually get mistaken for Jewish fairly often.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, have you experienced anti-Semitism?
I have actually. So I do a lot of political work, and I've specifically just gotten messages that were just slurs or
Wow.
the more grosser tropes and stuff like that.
Wow.
Ask him if he's ever thought about coming over.
Yeah, have you? I mean, you look the part already, like you'd be welcomed in. I mean, you ever thought about just making the jump?
I haven't, but I appreciate
Getting
the
the
offer.
snip, you know?
I'm all good there.
This is different than I expected. This is fun. Ahmed, come on down. I'm seeing a nice dark beard. Could be a Jewish beard for sure. It's nicely groomed, so maybe not. A little too well dressed for most Jews that I know, honestly. I like the shirt a lot.
Thank you.
Are you from Seattle originally? Or are you from around here?
So my grandparents were born in what was called Palestine before the establishment of Israel. And then they moved to Egypt.
Okay.
And then I was born in Kuwait. And then my family moved to Turkey. And then I moved to the US.
Wow. Yeah, just based on the lineage alone, my guess is that you're not Jewish.
I'm not. I do have some Jewish ancestry in me.
Wow.
And what's called Mizrahim, or
Yeah.
Middle Eastern Jewish people.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, when I did 23andMe, I got back 99.9% Ashkenazic Jewish, but the 0.1 was Coptic Egyptian. So we have a little something in
there you
common
go.
there. How did you come to know about this?
My parents never told me anything about our ancestry. All I know is like we're Palestinian and we're displaced during 1948, but there was a specific term for Palestinian Jews who were living there before 1948, and a lot of people were hiding their identity, including my grandma, because of fear of persecution.
Wow.
I was racially profiled as a Jew growing up.
Fascinating.
When I was in Jordan, everybody was calling me a spy, an Israeli spy.
Oh, so other Arab people thought that you were
Yes, that I
Jewish.
was Jewish. Palestinians even. They were like, oh, are you Israeli? Are you Jewish? You speak Hebrew.
Fascinating. So why did you learn Hebrew?
I wanted to understand the history of the Palestinian-Israeli war, and I believe when you learn the language of a group of people, you can communicate with them, and that helps in reaching a resolution and learning that we are more similar than different.
Beautiful. Hi, Maya. What did your parents want you to be growing up?
Whatever I wanted.
Good parents.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Yiddish word?
Schmuck.
את מדבר עברית?
כן, אני מדברת עברית.
Ah. I think I know. You have an Israeli accent. I'm gonna say you're Jewish.
I am.
Yes. Yeah. Did you grow up in Israel at all? Did you spend time there?
My parents are Israeli. I visited nearly every year, and for the last 5 years, I've been living near Tel Aviv.
Wow. Okay. What's it like being an American Jewish person living in Israel? I mean,
I got the nickname Amerikakit from time to time.
like little American shit.
Yeah.
It's an Israeli term of endearment. It's a term of affection.
Yeah, right.
I'm embarrassed about my Hebrew just because I butchered the feminine, masculine, whatever. But,
It's cool.
Rabbi. Yeah. So
How do I look?
first off, you look great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I'm just gonna name the elephant in the room. Not a lot of black Jews, right? I do have black Jewish friends. There are Jewish communities in Africa, especially in Ethiopia and whatnot, so they do exist, but it's not a super common thing. So that's, I would say, on the purely visual side of things, That's what's standing out to me the most. But I'd love to get to know you. Yeah, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in the south suburbs of Chicago.
South suburbs, okay. North suburbs are the Jewish ones, so south suburbs could go either way.
I can't concur.
Did you spend much time in the north suburbs?
I have family who lives up there currently.
I have family in those suburbs as well.
Okay.
So you have like Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah. How would you say that last one?
Hanukkah
How do you spell it?
with a CH.
The CH, cool. I think Jordan's Jewish. What I was looking for, what I was hoping for was a Hanukkah. But I also know that not all Jews are gonna say Hanukkah like that, and he also doesn't want to give it away. For me, it's the CH as a spelling. Like, I just have a feeling that if you're Jewish, you see it more CH, maybe H, but the CH for me was a thing.
I am Jewish. My dad and his whole side of the family are Jewish. Cool. I wouldn't say that I identify as being very religious, or nor does anyone in my family. So I did not get bar mitzvahed or anything, but I did very much grow up celebrating Hanukkah, Passover, Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, all of those things. And it's so much so that if we have friends over, my mom grabs multiple menorahs for everybody, so everyone lights their own candles.
Yeah.
I went to BBYO for a couple of years
shit,
as well when I moved out here. So
Yeah, so you did Jewish youth group growing up. Like, with this like Jewish aspect and your skin tone, like how did that like,
the elephant in the room.
I mean, yeah, I mean, how did it feel being, I'm assuming, one of the fewer African-American folks?
I was the only one there. I've been called Drake before, as well as Lenny Kravitz.
Yep.
That's about it.
Those are almost compliments at that point.
I mean, I'll take it, definitely. Depending on what Drake you're talking about.
Right.
How was that for you?
Really uncomfortable, right off the bat, from the top. I mean, I was initially like, my own internal biases were just put right front and center. A lot of at least the Jewish communities I've been a part of are primarily white and don't take into account the fact that not everyone there was raised or grew up Jewish in the same way that the people who are really running the show were, and that Jews come from a lot of different parts of the world. I mean, I realized very quickly that my visual assessment was based on the like European descent, the Ashkenazic Jewish complexion, when there are tons of Jews from other parts of the world that don't look like that or don't look like me. And so this was a huge learning and growth moment for me, and is expanding my worldview and Jew view, I guess, as well.
Good job.
Thank you.
Jacob, thank you very much.
Yeah, likewise. Nice to meet you all. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they drove me here.
Oh, no shit. No shit. Yeah.